Initiatives like this fit into a global effort to restrain Israel and prevent it from defending itself and its citizens.
I actually kind of feel sorry for the people who came here to protest, some of them with false information. The McCluggage Bridge was not lit up for the IDF, it was lit up for the 1,200 plus Israelis who were murdered and killed.
I will tell you, though, that I just returned a few days ago from Israel. On this trip, I heard many testimonials from people who were survivors of the massacre on October 7th. The only other time that I have heard such devastation is in speaking with Holocaust survivors.
We are at Citizens' Opportunity to address the City Council.
Okay. We have quite a few speakers tonight.
Next we have Sheldon Katz, followed by Sunday Garcia.
Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you this evening. So a local group has asked you to consider a resolution for a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. Okay, I don't believe this council has jurisdiction or is pertaining to the conflict. I'm here to speak about the real purpose of this proposed resolution, the potential impact on the greater Peoria Jewish community which I'm a part of. I hope this council will not further fan the flames of the controversy locally by even considering the proposal. Initiatives like this fit into a global effort to restrain Israel and prevent it from defending itself and its citizens from the stated objective of Hamas. In fact, we even heard it this evening, to eliminate Israel and the occupation of what is now Israel by all the Jews. Get rid of that. Wrapping the proposal in humanitarian terms is effective since we all feel for the residents of Gaza, apparently more than their leaders do. The efforts of the Israeli army to facilitate humanitarian aid to the displaced residents of Gaza are hampered by Hamas, and there will be no real relief for the residents until Hamas is gone. A ceasefire will only cost more lives on both sides after Hamas will use it to rearm and reorganize. Hamas is not giving up their objective of their organization or their supporters to eliminate Israel forever and all the people therein. Those are the horrible realities that we cannot change from here. Apparently, even putting this resolution on your docket is enough support to fan those flames. And what is the ceasefire that's being asked for? An end to the occupation that is Israel. However, what actually brought me here tonight is the bigger picture. There have been tremendous efforts worldwide on college campuses and even on high schools and city councils to delegitimize Israel, erode its status as a nation. This has, of course, also made anti-Semitism more acceptable in social media, college campuses, and even here in Peoria we've experienced the effects. It's not good for the Muslim community either, I should add. I'm here this evening because my father is 96 years old and cannot travel anymore. He is an expert in the process of delegitimizing and dehumanizing other people so that they can be persecuted. He was born in Germany, and he saw and experienced himself the process of gradual erosion of people's humanity. My conversations with him lately focus on his warnings that this is happening again. A few blocks from here is the Holocaust Memorial that demonstrates the magnitude of the consequences of not recognizing hate in its disguises. And well-meaning people are often caught up in the process throwing around words like genocide and apartheid without fully understanding the implications. Real liberation of the Palestinian people requires them to choose different leaders and requires them to choose goals that do not require another Holocaust. Israel is pursuing this now for their own security and hopefully for a better chance for their neighbors to live in peace. But a ceasefire only slows them down and puts many more lives at risk. One last thing. Imagine the city council considering a resolution for a ceasefire for any city council in 1943 between the U.S. and Japan, or Germany, without them surrendering. Thank you.
Hello, greetings, fellow Peorians and people from out of town. I have some prepared remarks, but before I start, I do want to just mention that I actually kind of feel sorry for the people who came here to protest, some of them with false information. The McCluggage Bridge was not lit up for the IDF, it was lit up for the 1,200 plus Israelis who were murdered and killed. So for you to say that it's now, the people who are now doing a genocide, that's completely inappropriate because that was referring to dead people. Unless you believe the IDF is a ghost army, that's a completely false statement. I'm going to go forward with my prepared remarks now. I'm not here to persuade you to change your opinion about the conflict between Israel and Gaza. I don't have enough time to argue about thousands of years of history or change people's religious views. And frankly, none of our personal views should matter here. I'm here to inform you of the dangerous precedent that will be set in the city of Peoria and this American city in the heart of Illinois, in the heart of America, if we begin making official city resolutions regarding foreign conflicts. The city of Peoria, or any American city, should not be taking a side in any war on political conflict transpiring overseas. By doing so, the city would not only be promoting division among local people, and that is real. Just to clarify, they will be inherently promoting the warfare and or political tactics used by whichever side they side with, none of which are appropriate in any domestic American city during peacetime. This would also apply to taking sides in any other foreign conflict, including the war in Russia and Ukraine, conflicts between China and Taiwan, India and Pakistan, Ethiopia and Eritrea, Somalia, Somaliland, and so on. Peoria is in Illinois, within the state of within the United States, and in the end, whatever position the United States federal government ends up taking is the de facto position of any government in the state of Illinois and subsequently the city of Peoria, unless Peoria, Illinois intends to stop remitting taxes to the federal government. Calling for ceasefires or calling for military actions or calling for political action in foreign lands is a virtue signal, meaningless performative action, which only serves to cause conflict within the local community and does absolutely nothing whatsoever to affect the conflict in question. If you want to divide the people of Peoria, then move forward with making a resolution to take a side in foreign conflict, because that is all such a resolution would accomplish. And that would include if you went the other way and supported Israel in this instance, or say Ukraine in another instance. If the city of Peoria takes a side in this conflict, they'll be expected to make resolutions taking side in every future controversial conflict. Are you ready to take time of a part-time government to research and understand and debate the history of not only the Levant and this Israel-Hamas conflict, but also the history of Kiev and Rus regarding the Ukraine and Russia conflict, or the history of Ethiopia and Eritrea, or the history of Somalia and Somaliland, rather than focusing on the needs of the local residents? If you take one step in this direction, you will essentially turn our city council into a billboard for political causes, upon which whoever shouts the loudest gets to spray their message. Every extremist group for either side will continue to descend upon city council, as you see here, every time a war breaks out anywhere in the world, once they know that the city council is a platform to foreign interests. This is not what the people of Peoria want. Just because some people in Peoria agree with this, that doesn't mean we all agree. People of Peoria already have arguments and conflicts over about the actions of local government regarding local issues like businesses and infrastructures. Keep Peoria focused on the needs of the people in Peoria, not Palestinian territories, Ukraine, Taiwan, India, Germany, Ireland, or anywhere else. And I have 1 minute left, and I wish one further statement to say that imagine, while everybody's doing spoken word tonight and telling you to picture things in your head, imagine if Hamas was in East Peoria and they came in and decided to do it October 7th here. Would we listen to Chicago or St. Louis or someplace in Canada telling us how to respond? It is not the place of the city of Peoria. I care about people that are Palestinian. I care about people that are Muslims. If you really want to know how to help and defend the people of Palestine, then I recommend you look up a man called Mossab Hassan Youssef. He is the son of the founder of Hamas, and he does extensive work telling people about his experience. So if you want to learn about somebody who really experienced it, look him up.
Time's up. Not trash. Go sit down.
It's inappropriate to boo people. I did not boo any of you.
Rabbi Nokal, followed by Miranda Bates.
So thank you for the opportunity to be here this evening and speak to you all. I wish that the circumstances were different, and I wish that I could speak to you in a time of peace, but not war. But that is the reality that we have here. I will try not to talk in sound bites nor make false equivalencies, such as the war the United States fought in Vietnam. That is not relevant. There are too many people suffering, and this issue is far too complex to be boiled down to a simple slogan about a ceasefire. The language of ceasefire is but a smokescreen, but I'm not going to debate this point by point. I will tell you, though, that I just returned a few days ago from Israel. On this trip, I heard many testimonials from people who were survivors of the massacre on October 7th. The only other time that I have heard such devastation is in speaking with Holocaust survivors. On October 7th, innocent civilians were brutally killed in their own home. Children were slain in front of parents, parents in front of children. Women were publicly raped. Many were also mutilated and oppressed.
Disgusting! Excuse me. I gave you the policies in the require order.
At least be honest.
Yes.
You weren't.
Many of the women were grotesquely mutilated, such as having their breasts cut from them while they were alive. I will remind you that there was no war on October 6th. Today, Israel is fighting for her very existence. She has been forced to defend herself. But I will also tell you what I saw firsthand, that no one I spoke with in Israel relishes this fight. No one is eager or happy to fight. They're not celebrating in the streets. However, they are resolute about what needs to be done to preserve the only democratic state in the Middle East and the home of the Jewish people.
Only terror state.
But I also wish that I could need to speak to you tonight to talk about an international issue in a city council meeting. This issue is not like one of school shootings. Regardless of what you may believe about the war in Gaza and Israel, the issue is not one that should be addressed in this setting. Peoria is a wonderful and diverse community. Every citizen deserves to feel safe and protected in the city. By bringing a contentious and divisive international issue to City Council, and for the City Council to take sides in public, will lead to discrimination and hatred of Peoria citizens. It will make this city less safe. Regardless of our personal politics, I want a city council that will represent every citizen of Peoria, regardless of their feelings about the war that is being fought in a foreign country, even if it is a foreign country that is my home. Finally, do not think that because the Peoria Jewish community has chosen to limit our attendance here and to limit our speakers, that it also limits our commitment to Israel. Nothing could be further from the truth. We care deeply and passionately about Israel, and also about the innocents in Gaza and everywhere that there is war today. We limit our speakers tonight only because we feel that this is not the correct forum for this discussion. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you to the City Council for allowing this opportunity to address the Council and the community. We all want to end the lost of innocent life. We all yearn for peace. We know that Palestinian civilians suffer, but a ceasefire that precludes the demilitarization of Hamas and doesn't return the hostages will only take us back to the same dangerous situation we had on October 7th. Hamas leadership has repeatedly said they would do October 7th again and again and again until they destroy Israel. My opinion of global affairs is my opinion, and I respect that the City Council has a right to their own opinions. My reason for speaking this evening is to demonstrate my support of the City Council and to encourage the Council to remain focused on city affairs and to not engage on global affairs. It is important for all citizens of Peoria to feel supported by the City Council and to remain neutral. I personally would be happy to share anything that perspective that I have, but I think it's very important for you to form your own and get involved in content. Thank you.
Next, we have Susan Katz, followed by Hassan Nevu.
Mayor Ali and council members, there's a lot here to unpack tonight, and I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity. I think we all agree that killing babies is wrong, but I didn't hear any mention of the dead babies in Israel that were massacred on October 7th. And I didn't hear Hamas mentioned much tonight. Hamas is an internationally recognized terrorist organization that killed 1,200 innocent Israelis, women, men, grandfathers, Holocaust survivors, babies and young children, and took 240 of them as hostages into Gaza. These are not resistance fighters, these are terrorists. And I also noticed a complete lack of respect when we say something that you don't agree with. Please let us speak as we let you speak. Thank you. And I am speaking the truth when I say that Hamas brought this war on, that Israel did not seek this war, and Hamas has been oppressing the Palestinian people since they were elected in 2007. And yes, there is proof of the massacre. And I could give anybody the website who's interested. It is horrific, absolutely horrific. I couldn't look at it. It reminds me very sadly when I hear people deny what happened on October 7th, the way people in this country reacted to Holocaust survivors when they came over after World War II. Many of them started to speak about what happened to them in the camps, and people absolutely denied it and didn't believe that it happened. And they shut down. And we found that the Nazis had documented everything just as Hamas did. So we have documentation. We have proof. The war is with Hamas, not with the Palestinian people. We grieve the deaths.
Hold it, Ms. Katz, please stop. Anybody who talks when someone else is up speaking, I'm going to ask security to remove them.
the deaths on both sides. War is horrible, and we'd like to see it end. But until it ends with Hamas returning the hostages and becoming demilitarized, Israel will face October 7th again and again and again, and they cannot do that. Well, they have a responsibility to defend their citizens. That being said, and there's so much more, because I cannot address all of the pieces of information that I feel were incorrect that were presented to you tonight. Clearly, this is a very complicated and divisive issue, which is why I ask City Council to please not consider a ceasefire resolution. This is beyond what we can fix. This is beyond City Council's mission. This will further divide your community, which is already, as you see, divided. I pray for peace. I think we all pray for peace, but I don't think a ceasefire resolution by the Peoria City Council is going to get us any closer to peace. Thank you.